So our race is about to take off here. And of course, we are making it nice and easy as we start off with level 7. So again, these players are playing in the world order is randomized. We know not what the order will be. We don't know where the stages will appear, but it should be interesting. That's the whole joy of the randomizer. So again, both of our players are starting off in the World 7 map, starting with the first fortress from the World 4. I'm sorry, World 5. Again, not too challenging here. Again, these are two pretty good players here. They had to be good to make it this far. So again, the main trouble that we have to start off with, obviously, is figuring out how in the world do we get through this. We have to know how do we get through World 7. So trial and error to start off with. We don't know how to get through this stuff. But we do have to get through this piranha stage here. Again, this particular stage doesn't randomize too much except for the actual piranhas per se. The chat demands fun. I got you. I got you. I got you. I hear you. So right now, we don't know where to go, and again, not having a lot of inventory items to start off this world, so gotta be a little careful here in order to get through this. And of course, if you haven't seen it randomized, we know that items are very, very important here. Yeah, it looks like we may not have the capture on the timers quite yet here. But nevertheless, I'm counting in my head internally. I got you. Of course, the race will be officially timed via SRL like all the other races anyway. So going through 1.5 again, Leslie Pro having to make that return, picking up the item from the item house there. Do we not have any game audio? Not sure. We're going to check on that real quick before you while we're doing this. This round, hammer doors. Yes, hammers have no change in their properties on the bracket phase, so you still have the exact same benefit of breaking both rocks and the locks. The rocks and the locks on the stage map here. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, so we're all good now. Audio has been fulfilled here. So duckfist still trying to figure out how to get around here. Again, having to go this way. Going through one of our beta stages here. I'm sure those of you all who've been watching this very often have begun to recognize these when you see them. 8 of these levels in the randomizer. They are basically early designs of games that actually make the final product of Mario 3. Some of them a little bit different. So they each have their own challenges here. We should be good here. Gotta watch out. Man, duckfist a nice little high bounce here. So you kind of see them right now making their way to the exact same stage right now. Again, traversing the same route now, trying to get through this World 7 pipe maze. Literally the maze. Yeah, that's an option that's been added to the randomizer. Again, it's not forced. It's a toggleable option if you actually download the randomizer software yourself. Kind of an added thing. It puts a little more sense of, I guess, randomization and a little luck factor. Because you're not guaranteed necessarily to get hammers. Sometimes you may be bold and play the matching card game. And because items are randomized as to what you're awarded, you could be awarded hammers in the magic game should you choose to play them. So again, and not to mention, sometimes do you use a hammer now? Do you wait for another world? You know, and part of the randomizer is knowing what worlds you haven't played yet. You know, knowing where your locks are. Do I use it now? Do I save it for later? All that good stuff. Yep. So our restreamers are working on getting that turn for you, but I'll count for you. I got you. I'm counting internally, as I said. Yep. So again, this is a race to who can take care of Bowser first. This is played in the style of any percent warpless. So no whistles. The whistles have been removed for the tournament settings. Leslie might have forgotten the path. We've already been there first, trying to figure out how to get out of this maze here. Sometimes when you spend a little too much time here, you kind of forget where you've been and where you haven't. So both of these players, again, needing to do well because we are at single elimination. And a loss here is the end of the tournament for you. Leslie Pro trying to get across the P-switch. duckfist having no problems with the 8 one stage here. Gotta get this water here. You don't want to see a cheap. Or a boss pass of any of those water villains. So it looks like Duckfist is the first person to make it onto the right side of the map, being able to see the victory. So again, Leslie's going to have to traverse the same path, and eventually the last will be there with Duckfist. So Duckfist having a little lead right now. About a stage on him right now. Yep. Yeah, you might see a little glitch here or there against some enemies just don't play well together, but all I know is if it moves, don't touch it. Just stay away from it. Yep. That's what happens when we break video games, eh? Unexpected abnormalities. So Duckfist traversing through 5-9. Of course, if you don't know what the randomizer is, haven't seen in a while, the randomizer removes most autoscrollers. In fact, the only two autoscrollers removed that stay in the game are the one you see on Duckfist screen 5-9 and one of those lost levels I just spoke a little bit about. That one is also a very, very long, multi-directional autoscroller. So typically, if possible, if they happen to run into one of those, if they can, they may just take a death and take another path. Or if they can, cloud over it. Oh, it all depends on where the level falls. Sometimes these levels end up on stages that you cannot skip with a cloud. For instance, maybe World 8. You gotta love when they end up on one of those hand levels or something like that where you have to just gamble it. So no soft locks here. Again, like any randomizer across any game, the whole goal is to program it in a way that you avoid randomization. I'm sorry, randomize out any chance of soft locks. So of course, things happen. In fact, there was one particular update that was made for the sake of the bracket stage because there was a potential soft lock. But of course, if it happened, we will make sure it doesn't happen in the tournament setting. So for instance, there are some levels where you have to fly to get out the levels. So you don't want to randomize power-ups in certain locations because it will otherwise make the level unbeatable. So of course, those things have always been taken account of because we want them to actually finish this, of course. So of course the scenes comes up just like any other randomizer, any other software, any other good software. It is patched to make sure we don't have any issues here. So Duckfist, it does keep a little lead on Leslie right now. Going to have to play this other piranha stage, not having any way to put it to sleep. Yep. And, ooh, Duckfist getting munched on. Literally, gonna have to try it again. What is this P-wing? You want to take a power up? Not going to spend all day dying to that particular level. So again, not worried about the hit too much. Gonna take another hit. Gotta get off these. All right, so he's going to be moving on to his. He's going to be moving on to his first airship here. And we'll see what lurks behind this. Again, as he goes to the airship is randomized. We don't know what Koopa Kid will see. We don't know what the HP will be. It will be anywhere between 1 and 5 hits. And of course, its ability to stun lock you, Earthquake. And of course, its jump physics. Will it be thick or will it be thin? So it looks like we're going to have 1 hit. We've got 2 hits. And that is it. Oh, Leslie getting booed to death here. Not what we want to see there. So we're going to have to retry that one again. Yeah, the thing is, a lot of times on randomized, when you begin changing up orders, you have to kind of accommodate, okay, if you get this here, what happens later? The good thing in Mario 3, because Mario 3 is a relatively linear nature, having one thing in one stage isn't going to affect like 5 levels later. So you kind of have to just focus on just the individualized level basis, which is kind of good for this kind of randomizer. Leslie's just going to P-wing it up here. Took 2 deaths there already, so going to go back and get that star. Star is just making them work to even get it. Got a little swimming action for Duckfist. He's getting through one of his World 3 levels. Well, thank you. I'm not perfect. I breathe oxygen like anybody else. I'm no better than the next. Leslie Pro, you can see that the 2 crazy hot feet or hot feetses something. Of course, that's a unique thing of the randomizer. You have the static hot foot, which behaves like a boo. Whenever you look at it, it stops moving, but the wild ones move regardless of where you're looking. So, speaking of looking, if we look over at Duckfist screen, you see him taking a quick little peek of the first matching game there. And of course, in case you do not know about how the randomizer works, in the matching game, what you match does not correlate to what you'll see in your inventory. Any item in the inventory could appear. So all your power-ups, including, Tanuki suit, a frog, a hammer, a cloud P-wing, all that. And of course, what the players are really looking for are those key items that can allow you to skip stages or make stages much easier. So those hammers are very vital. Of course, the clouds and P-wings allowing you to traverse over levels that may be a little more problematic or just to get over and be done with it. Not to mention a free double hit. So Leslie going to be done with the big guy in just one more hit. Well, done already. Gotta watch out for the shoe here. Don't want to get stepped on, literally. Of course, if one thing you haven't noticed is that power-ups are randomized. Now, so anywhere in the game that you normally would find a power-up in a block, that is now randomized. Now, additionally, in the tournament bracket phase, and also as a regular update to the software, the giant question blocks that were typically found in the game that usually awards you either, say, a Tanuki suit, a frog suit, a hammer suit, or either the 3 1-ups, those are now randomized as well, as of this version using the bracket format. Yeah. So just some little minor tweaks there to, more randomization is good, right? So Duckfist is going to be done with the bottom half, the bottom section of the World 5 map being World 2 for him. Again, Leslie Bro not too far behind here. Now, of course, one thing to note here on World 5 map, there is a potential to skip the upper, I guess if you divide into thirds. Duckfist trying to impress us by going for the glitch pipe. He's not breaking the game. He's a trained professional, apparently. Leslie might be going for the match game here. Now, even though they've both gone for the match game, you may see different layouts here. So one thing about the in-card game, as in vanilla, is that it is frame-based as to which board you get. All right, so you do have various layouts, 8 potential layouts, as in vanilla, but which one you get is dependent on what frame you actually start the matching game on. So you can see variance between our runners because, again, that is varied anyway. So things do become essentially frame perfect. Leslie going through our sun stage like it's nothing. Again, not too many hazards. Again, having randomized enemies, you might have an unexpected enemy that you can't bounce off. Gotta be a little cautious of that when you're flying at that speed when you're little, because you just don't know what might show up. So here we go. So Leslie, again, trying to play catch up here. Again, Leslie will probably pick up the star here. We don't want to have any issue with lives here. It's very, very common to take an intentional death in the randomizer just because you just have a level that stinks and you may have a better power up for it, or maybe you have a way to just skip over it. And so it's not uncommon to see that here. Looks like Leslie is going to go for the Cloud Heaven here. We don't see this too often. Again, it is a slower ending, but it is a guaranteed power up. Now, I believe in vanilla, this normally gives you I don't know. I feel like it gives you a cloud, but we don't know what it's going to get. Hopefully something he can use, and that probably may not have been what he wanted to see. So again, a star can be very helpful, especially when you're little and you have to deal with a Hammer Brother fight. And of course, Hammer Brothers are randomized here, so anywhere a Hammer Brother or any brother would appear in the stage itself or on the overworld map, they are shuffled between Hammer, Fire, Boomerang, and the Boomerang Brothers. So you'll probably see a lot of star use, especially when they're little. Well, speaking of star, Leslie Pro is going to have to go in here. Unfortunately, You have to wait a little bit. You can't jump through an upward pipe while you're in cartwheel animation. Tino never thought you would be in that situation, apparently. So we had to weigh it out. Yeah, we've had them called Quake Brothers, Sumo Brothers, Sledge Brothers, the big guys. So there's the big boss Bass. Should be no threat to Leslie. Might watch out going in the pipe here. Duckfist getting through the fast airship. Notice again, we have auto scrolls removed from most of those major ones. So that becomes just a platforming peril level now instead. Which it already was, just not worry about the screen scroll rushing you, per se. No, I'm not unfortunate, brother. I didn't make the cut. Yeah, you can't go up through an up pipe during a start unless you are little, you have P speed, or you're Frog Mario. Or if you time it perfect, you can actually get a statue entry in, but yeah, good luck on that one. Yeah, cartwheel animation prevents you from doing that. All right, so Duckfist making his way through one of the giant stages here. Again, not too much of a threat there. Kind of just going through power-ups like it ain't nothing here. Oh boy, gotta watch out for that last little blooper there, trying to nip him at the very end there. So Leslie and Duckfist, both of them should be pretty good on lives for the rest of the race, unless something catastrophic happens. So we got plenty of lives here, so no threat there. Again, Leslie, a few stages behind here, can be caught up though. You never know. We're very early in the race here. Again, this is a round one match between these two. The winner moves on to round two. This is round two of the bracket phase. Single elimination now. Of course, if they make it to round three, for those who don't know, round three of a tournament, which will also be considered to be the quarterfinals, from there on, all of the tournament matches of this event will all be best of three. So the players will have to endure a little bit more. And of course, for you all, that means longer races. I'm sure you all don't mind that. As they try to become America's next top Mario 3 randomizer tournament champion. So again, ironically, both players going through what would normally be an auto-scroller. But since we don't have time for that, well, Leslie clipped onto the pipe there. So Duckfist having to deal with Roy here. And oh, there goes firepower, so we have to hit him normally. But of course, he only needed 2 hits. Yes, America. Yeah. So here we go. So Duckfist is taking care of his second world, so he'll be moving on to his third world. Not sure what it'll be yet, but we will find out in just a few moments here. Doesn't appear we have a lot of hammer action quite yet from our players. Leslie just dodging the wrench there. And we got a hammered suit for Duckfist. So again, that's nice to have for Bowser. Yeah, we only had a cloud there. So again, these players are going to have to, unfortunately, do levels that could be skipped a lot if hammers existed or they had some in the inventory, but not to be the case right now. So they're going to have to literally play a vanilla world format here, even in their third world. Leslie might be able to pick up a hammer depending on how the thing's randomized. Again, not knowing what you get until you check your inventory. However, once you match something, for instance, if he matched a hammer on a star, he knows that from then on, every star is worth a hammer. So it looks like he's going to clear the board here. So if he can keep track of what he matched, he might check an inventory check. Let's see what he picks up, and boy. So unfortunately, no hammers out of the mix. So he has quite a bit of regular power, so in case he dies or whatnot, he has a very good way to get back big and not worry about the threat of one-hit kill. Got our friend the Red Bullet Bill there. Interesting enough, this is the only level in the randomizer that will have that. Who knows, maybe in a future build we might be able to randomize bullet bill cannons. Of course, gotta be a little careful there. It could obviously put you somewhere you can just block your entrance or whatnot. But we'll see. Duckfist working on his inventory as well, doing a little matching game, giving Leslie a chance to kind of move forward. And of course, Picking up a flower there. Got Tanuki, so we're going to go Teddy Ruxpin right now for a little bit here. Interesting enough, Leslie Pro is going through 3-8, which has a Boss Bass in vanilla. And looks like Boss Bass did not go away. Meanwhile, Duckfist is just being rained down with Goombas. Oh boy. Man, oh man, having a two-piece there. So, just gonna move through there and get through that mess here. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yeah. Stay tuned later for the frog only tournament. Yeah, I'm sure you all will love that. Way too much hopping action. So getting a coin ship will force you to fight 2 Boomerang Bro. It's a guaranteed item. And there's an item that is quite desired in a randomizer. Getting a hammer. Interesting enough, it'd been nice to have the hammer at the beginning of the world, but of course, you're just a couple stages from the turn anyway, so it's going to hold on to that. And of course, keeping a track of what levels and what worlds have yet to be played. So he'll know whether or not he can afford to use it, whether it's even good to have. Maybe he wants to be bold and possibly save too. Yep. Froggermize. Man, a lot of Starman here. A lot of invincibility action. So Leslie will now join Duckfist in the 3rd world, which happens to be World 4's map. Duckfist getting a chance of Super Tank here. So for those who aren't familiar with the randomizer, any level that normally will break a lock when you complete the stage or build a bridge, all of those levels are in their own item randomization pool. So all of the forts, the fast airship from World 8, as well as the Super Tank level, things like that that break locks. So they all in their own pool. So you can see those anywhere where you normally would choose them on the map. And of course, all the other levels, the number levels, the Oasis level, Pyramid level, those are all shuffled in this own pool as well. So again, because obviously someone in chat said we need more Starmen, Duckfist just getting off that Piranha, or that Muncher before the Starman ends. So here if all stages were hand stages, yeah. The good thing about hand stages is it does always award you a power-up. Now, of course, one thing about the randomizer is whatever one hand stage gives you, all the other ones will give you the same power-up. Or item, should I say. Interesting to know, the race that ended just a little while ago actually awarded an anchor. And if you're not familiar with the randomizer, the anchor gives you a random item. It doesn't give you death like Leslie Pro just went through, unfortunately. So you don't know what you use until you use it. Again, anything is fair game when you use an anchor. It could be a star, mushroom, hammer brother, who knows. That was one thing that was corrected from the earlier version of the randomizer, which was very, very biased towards frogs, which I'm sure you all are much disappointed about that. Duckfist picking up another hammer there. And wow, nice little combination here. A hammer and a P-Wing. Nice little combination to have. Yeah, you know what that is? That has been a suggestion about the Starman, is to have randomized length. You know, interesting to note, some of us geeky people like myself actually spent time as a kid and timed the Starman length. And Mario 3, you know, between Mario 1, 2, 3, and Mario World, Mario 3 does have the shortest Starman. Just barely over 4 seconds. So not much time of safety. Mario 1 feels like it never is going to end. And same thing with Mario World. And over 10 seconds of safety. Duckfist trying to clear this card out here. Who knows, he might pick up another hammer. He has at least 2 right now. So him clearing this card out here. So he has no need to check his inventory right now. So Duckfist moving on to the second fort from World 3's map as intended. Want to get through that. Super Tank for Leslie Pro. Again, just a hop, skip, and through all these little treacherous little wrench throwing guys. Well, thank you very much, Zach. I hear you. The feels. I'm nerdy. Well, I embrace my nerditude. My nerditude? Yes. I'm all for it. So Duckfist, again, maintain that few stage lead on. He's going to head over to his third castle, third airship. Again, getting through World 1's airship here. And of course, let's see how this fight goes. Again, going for the fire kill. Now, one thing you know about fire kill, they always require the same number of fireballs. However, if you take damage, you always have to do the same number of hits. Getting hitting with fireballs doesn't reduce the actual jumps you would need on any of the Koopa Kids. So just one little thing of note there. Yep, Lemmy, Iggy. We'll give 5 coup points to whoever can name all the Koopa Kids without Googling it or using your multifunctional cell phones. So Duckfist moved on to the 4th world, and of course those hammers will probably come into play potentially, as he is already at 2. Let's see if we can shorten this any. Unfortunately, getting sent to that lone pipe with no way across the water. So again, another vanilla-like start to a long world. With the pipes being randomized, not knowing where they take you to. Let me bing that for you. Oh boy. So again, Duckfist going through an auto scroll. Gotta be a little careful here. Woo! Not sure if he was thinking he made that or not. Happy, droopy, and sneezes. See, this is the problem with the youth of America right now. See, didn't have that Mushroom Kingdom 101. Oh, good though. That's why they made wikis. So Duckfist flying through the stage here. Yeah. Leslie Pro. See, Leslie Pro, pay attention. Having to deal with 8-2 in that last jump, a lot of our players sometimes get a little timid and try to land that last note block, but with a full speed jump, you can make that whole gap with no problem. And Leslie Pro showing you it's possible. Duckfist going to pick up another item here next to a Starman, because we've had way few stars in this run so far. So Duckfist in optimal condition here, having a tail here, getting through our first fortress from World 7. Again, another one of the levels that requires you to be able to fly to get out of it. So another level that's just nice to have, because if for some reason you get here and you don't have a flight ability, it's a lot of time loss. Because you either have to go get a Tanuki suit, or if you're small, you have to go such a far away just to get a power up. And taking a death is not a quick option either. So Duckfist on his second end card, since both our players have cleared one board already. So again, no luck there. So Leslie probably trying to catch up here. Duckfist going to do a little swim action. See, game tip, this is why shows like Maury exist, so we can determine who the mother and the father are. But if we don't know who the mother is, we really got a problem. But anyways, the booms can fly. Some of them do fly, but of course, usually people kill them so quickly you never see the flight ability on the second phase. This is rare. It's rare to see that now, because most people time it. Seems like every game you've had a Boom Boom in, even the more modern 3D games, Boom Boom is pretty free. But what's not always free though is getting through 7-8. 7-8, very nasty beginning. Lots of projectiles. Again, one thing about the flowers is that they do randomize. So you can see they can randomize all of them to the shooting fire ones, which is not fun. Of course, you have to be careful here because you do have randomized enemies. You could all of a sudden have a fire chomp, fire chain chomp after you could have the dreaded fire nippers, which can just body you. So these are all questions you should be asking Miyamoto, not a random person talking into a Yeti mic on the interwebs. Okay? Yes. And Leslie getting a little clip there just because it looks really cool. Okay. Again, questions for Miyamoto and company. All right, so Leslie just about there. A little close call, just like Duckfist had. But again, Duckfist, pretty good situation right here. Having that fire flower, getting a music box might not be much of a help for music boxes. Maybe towards the latter part of the game, in case we have plenty of items. Swag tournament. This is Mario 3 randomizer. It's already swag. That's just a synonym for Mario 3 randomizer tournament. My voice cancel. I'll hit him up on MySpace very quick. All right, Duckfist having to deal with nice old World 1 fort here. Again, let's see if we can get a vanilla leaf. Unfortunately, he lost his speed there, so it's a good thing because that enemy right there can randomize to a hot foot, which makes it a little more challenging to build up your P speed there. How when do power-ups appear in Hammer Brothers battles? Well, what actually happens is Hammer Brothers, even in vanilla, there are certain spaces on the map that if a Hammer Brother fight occurs in, it will award a power-up either on the far right block or the bottom center. So the Hammer Brother fight has to occur on certain spaces on the map. I'm pretty sure if you Google it, you can actually find that particular map that shows you exactly what spaces will award an item. So that's how that particular one works. That is a good question. You don't hear that question being asked. Yeah, because it's not static. It does depend on what space that fight actually occurs on. Yeah, so Duckfist having to deal with some more World 1 levels here. That poor fire chain just plummeting to its death on Duckfist screen. So again, looks like Lester Pro is going to go over to the 5 again. About a 3-stage difference right now our players are on, and this is a lead that can easily be conquered just on a add path choice on the world map or whatnot. Duckfist going a little too far there. I'm much disappointed that Duckfist did not go for the door 3. On that particular fort he's on, it's actually a frame perfect input. You can actually go in door 3, and if you time your up input perfectly, you can go right back in the door and go straight to the room where Boom Boom is. But it is frame perfect. And by frame perfect, I mean not a 85 frame window that's frame perfect. No, it literally is one single frame of an input. So Duckfist moving on to his 4th castle here. And Leslie about 5 stages behind here. Remember, Duckfist has a lot of hammers here. Of course, Leslie picking up that cloud, the same cloud Duckfist has. So we got a lot of balls and bouncing around here and a lot of hits too required. So there goes firepower. Man. We got through that little circus little endeavor. So let's go pick up that item again. We already know what that item is. Seen one of the hand stages, dude. Dude, no one likes. So that's the worst thing. All those balls and rings between those two, can't stand it. Remember, HP on the Koopa Kids does randomize between 1 and 5 hits. All right, so just a mushroom there. Going to World 1 again, a very short world, and of course. Duckfist does have 2 hammers there, so he can already cut that world down to half. In fact, even less because he decided to cloud 5. And of course, as you can see many times when someone clouds a level, you know that if you happen to die, you're going to go back to prior to where you clouded, unless you went through a pipe or something like that. So he'll only have to do with 1 single stage in a Hammer Brother before he gets to the castle. Meanwhile, the chat is still trying to figure out how to contact Miyamoto and who's going to buy my space. I tell you, our priorities. Yep. So there we go. Actually, that rock is not breakable. Oh, wait, you talking about the mushroom house? Or which house we're in? Which thought we talking about here? So I thought you could actually cloud the rock next to the mushroom house in World 1. It looks no different than any other one, but that one just pretty, that's just pretty scenery. So we got Hammerman back in effect on Duckfist screen as he's going to be done with World 5 in just a few. I'm out, one hit. So again, some very, very easy Koopa Kid fights in the sea so far. Turn it into an apartment, say, right, I think you're on the path to becoming a genius and wealthy. Let's make sure I get my 10%. Okay, thanks. All right, so Duckfist moving on to the 6th world here. Again, that was a very short World 1, so Leslie Pro will have that same advantage so long as we have the hammers to do so. Now, I believe Duckfist has another hammer, so he can shorten World 2 as well and go ahead and skip at least the front half of it, per se. This is another one of those levels where having 2 hammers in the cloud can take this level down to literally just one stage, and that's going to be the castle. Again, sometimes going for those matching games and lucking up and getting a lot of hammers can definitely shorten the time here. We have a lot of players that play a little bit differently on how they reverse to the randomizer. Some people opt to go for a lot of matching games. Some people are like, bump it, let's just YOLO it. Duckfist not really one that started. I think he tried to dodge out of it, but unfortunately, he'll have to settle with an unfortunate 5-up. Oh no. A little early on the bounce there. It's got to be a little careful. You don't want to take a death here. Oh, we don't want to die now. So wait for him to back up. So I get one more hit in. He's going to wait it out. Ooh, that was a little bold. He's all right. So he'll be moving on to his 5th world. Got to play catch up here because remember, we're in the point of a tournament where we're on single elimination. So a loss here, there is no second chance. And time is running out here as we still have a couple of short worlds here. Duckfist not going to worry about any matching action, probably. Going for that Fire Brother. Try to pick up an item, and he's going to pick up a star. The 1-up just leaves the screen. And he's looking at his inventory. He's probably going to cloud it. Yep, he's going to go ahead and cloud it. And of course, unfortunately, he has to deal with this one. He's got to be careful here because this stuff was a little bit more treacherous in non-auto scroll because you have to kind of screen scroll things forward to see where you're going to land on these Paragoombas. Again, the only level in the randomizer where we have Paragoombas. Again, that was a little bit more tedious when there's no auto scroll. But he's okay, so he doesn't worry about regretting that cloud usage. As they both walk off stage right, picking up a star. Interesting. Alright, so another item for Duckfist once he takes care of these Boomerang Brothers. Let's see what he picks up this time. Beetles, Goombas, they're all bad. Oh, they are Beetles, that's right. They aren't Goombas. Paragoombas can't support their weight in there, can they? I guess a Paragoomba would be a Goomba, right? I guess that makes sense. Or does it? First of all, how they fly in the first place doesn't make any sense, but we know better than to question Nintendo logic. How Mario jumps and bonks his head on a block and never ever hurts is beyond me. We're just going to accept it at this rate. Duckfist with an interesting kill with the last fireball in the air. And he gets the double, the bi-directional fire salute of victory there. So Duckfist making quick work, moving on to his 7th world here. Leslie surviving the little. So Leslie will be moving on to World 6 in just a little bit here. So we only have 1 world left for Duckfist before we move into World 8. So again, World Three's map. Best case scenario is this first pipe will take us straight to the castle. Let's see how lucky they are this time. Not today. So duckfist is going to have to decide whether or not to play this route or go around the other way and go the 1, 2, 3 castle way. Again, typically you'll see players go this route because it requires less stages. One less stage in order to access another pipe. And even if it's not the pipe you want, thing is, unless you end up behind the lock, you'll be able to quickly get where you need to go. So that's the worst case scenario right now. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Yep, so here we go. Leslie Pro trying to get through this world. Of course, he has that same hammer advantage you saw duckfist use to get through half of World 2 quickly. All right, there's that. We saw that hit earlier from duckfist in that particular stage from Leslie. All right, so duckfist, look at his inventory here. The bridge is up, so he's going to go to the castle. And this will obviously break the lock right below it. It could be victorious. Again, the only thing that would make him regret this is if he ends up behind the lock. If he ends up behind the lock, he's going to have to make another path choice here. He'll have to play some extra stages. So it could allow Leslie Pro to gain some ground on, maybe not quite catch up, but at least because of a path choice mistake. And again, it's just pure luck. Trying to grab a leaf from the fall, but that leaf will just have to drown down to his death. So let's see if duckfist can end up anywhere except behind that lock. And yep, that's the last place she wanted to end up, behind that lock. And he has no more hammers, so unless he has some clouds, he's going to have to play at least 3 stages here. Now, this is an instance where having multiple hammers can be very beneficial because you'll be able to go straight to that castle. So obviously the winning decision is to go to the pipe that is below. And unfortunately, speaking of below, Leslie's going to go below the hood as he gets burnt by the fire brother there. Not fun there. Yep, flying pies. The randomizer is exactly that. Shuffles the levels in the game, the order, the enemies, many more things, and that last thing will tell you a little bit more specifically what is randomized in the setting. In fact, you can download and play it yourself and get that first-hand taste of what's been randomized, or what can be anyway. Duckfist doing a little swimming action here. Again, this level is known for his nasty hitboxes, and Cheap Cheats are always frustrating. So Leslie Pro going to balance carefully on the pair of beetles. Getting across that first half of it. So duckfist just need to get down to that bottom pipe there. He'll have to get through this stage first, and then he'll be able to get out of this world and move on to 8. And having a star is a nice little convenience here. Can traverse quickly without any loss of our power-up status. And Leslie decided to go back trying to find an item here. Not sure how many hammers Leslie had, but we got star power everywhere on the screen. I swear it's about 20 stars we've seen in this particular seed. All right. So Leslie Pro is headed through the 6th airship, the Never Starman. Duckfist has unlocked that path there, and I think he'll realize just in a second that he didn't want to go this way. It'll click in a minute, yeah. I think he forgot that he already went that way for the sole purpose of knowing he was stuck behind the lock. I think it's going to click in a second. Might have slipped his mind there. It's like, what? There we go. So he makes the right choice there. Happens very often when you have a lot of pipe choices. You kind of forget where you've been if you're not keeping track. So again, no autoscroller being able to cheese and go a little faster. than Miyamoto probably wanted you to in this level. Again, you're not going to see this in vanilla. And there's Wendy. Wendy is on, she's on thick mode. Uh-oh. 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 Wendy has at least 3 hits here. She's on 4 hits. Man, well, that's the Wendy you all wanted. The 5-hit thick Wendy. That's what you all wanted. Now, you probably wanted some deaths, but I'm sorry. We don't have that part. Ooh, Leslie Pro trying to go through 1-1, but you got to continuously spawn in cheap cheese. You got to be really careful when he's standing low. It just spawns up. You got to be really careful towards the end here. The dream, you know. So Duckfist is going to make his way to the 8th and final world and picks up a hammer. Oh, boy. So another hammer. Again, both players will have that. Unfortunately, Duckfist may take a death here. So he intentionally takes a death there because he has a level he can easily clip through. You just need to find any power up, preferably one without any flight ability. So let's see if we can get first try. Unimpressed. So he's going to get a second try. I guess we'll tolerate that. So again, 7-1, a very easily clippable level. You can't fly over that level for P-Wing, but you can clip into it. And as long as you have, to make it easy, any power-up that does not involve frog or a tail, and you're pretty much set for that. And so the first challenge of World 8 is figuring out how to get here. Now, Duckfist was given a hammer there. Now, he could have used that hammer to break down the lock to the right, but instead he's going to play the stage as it is, which will also break that lock, allowing him to save that hammer if he needs it for the hand screen where the hammer exists. Typically, you'd have to beat that fast airship level in order to crack it open, but you might be able to save a route. So at being this fort here, this will unlock 3 path choices for Duckfist. The path to the northwest or northeast, and the 2 pipes below him. So we're going to try them out, see where we end up at. So he doesn't want to cross that bridge. Again, the correct pipe could be to the left, but we don't want to have to worry about gambling on RNG stages. So let's try the bottom right one. Let's see what happens here. Bottom right takes us to the other side of 8182, so at least he doesn't worry about 8182 now, which is always nice. He has 1 more pipe to his left he can try. Now let's see where this one takes us to. And that one is going to take us exactly where we want to be. So a very, very nice World 8 pipe randomization for the players here. Only requiring them to play, 1 level random, required. Could easily cloud through another one if you have one. So we end up with extra hammers. Peach was nice to give us one. And that's going to be our last boom boom as Leslie picks up that flower. So Duckfist is just 1 stage away from sealing the victory here. I think overall, this just seemed to be a pretty nice heat. We didn't really have any treacherous points of the run where it was just so detrimental to our players. Pretty much a straightforward one here. Definitely one of the more calming seeds of this event. We have had some disastrous ones that have taken several dozen deaths from some of our players. So Duckfist going to maintain his hammer suit, showing off his moves. He has, so having that previous experience on some of the maneuvering the levels does have its advantages in the randomizer. So Bowser will be paved, and Duckfist will be the winner of this single elimination match, and he will finish with, quote, an official SRL time of 49 minutes and 14 seconds. So GG, game good, well done to the Fist of Duck variety. Congratulations on that. So he will move on to the second round of the bracket. In case if you want to see that bracket, type exclamation SMB3. So Duckfist will move on next, and his next opponent will be Fonzoid. Again, Fonzoid, a very good Mario 3 player. We got 2 really good players here. We got someone that's held a top time in Warpless, and someone that's just a beast, undefeated. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that match shapes up. Don't know when it's going to be yet, but if you bookmark that schedule link as the players schedule their matches, you'll be able to know when they'll be. And of course, eventually they'll be assigned a channel on Speed Gaming, so you'll know where to watch. Yep. So again, we're going to give it to Leslie Pro, because obviously he's fighting everybody's favorite fight here. 5-hit Thick Wendy. What the people want. And of course, no problems. Both players, no casualties. Let's see if we can get a little talk to Mr. Duckfist here. All right. Remember, you all, this is single elimination here. So again, a lot on the line here. If you make it to round 3, it becomes best 2 out of 3. So I'm pretty hyped the fact that the latter part of the tournament is going to provide at least 2 races every single match of these players. So it's going to be a lot of good action, a lot of chance for some tiebreakers. So I'm really hyped for that, actually. So here we go. Let's see Leslie nail first try. What happens here? Not quite. They have both let me down. It's all good, though. So again, Leslie Pro, even though I might have lost this, again, a very good race. 5th try there, not too bad. Again, you can do that in vanilla. No cheats, no hacks here. So again, just to give you an FYI as far as what's coming up on the randomizer is Leslie's wrapping up. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., set your calendar, set your abacuses, your smartwatches, your smartphones, your smart socks, whatever, because at 7 p.m. Eastern, as we had earlier today, we have another 4-way race. In fact, get this, y'all. Tomorrow is 2 4-way races. Tomorrow at 7 p.m., we have Radioactive Rat going against cartridge blowers, and not Duckfist, Buzz Thunder and Jab 'em. Both of them will be racing simultaneously, 2 separate group matches, trying to avoid that single elimination again. The winner of Buzz Thunder and Jab 'em will move over to Group 2, and they will race against Classic Gamers a little bit later in the tournament. And the winner between Radioactive Rack and Cartridge Blowers will go against Mitch Flower Power. Very, very strongly ranked player in the world of Mario 3. Of course, at 10:30 p.m.
Okay, does this work? Hello?
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Hold on a second. Hill and Mustard and Chuck.
My bad.
They'll be racing against each other. The winner will fight against Pooh Bear, who won earlier today. And of course, Tapatio J and Lawso, that match will go on. The winner of that will fight Kevin. And our winner, Duckfist, what's up, man?
Not much. Just wrapped it up. Wasn't too bad. Kind of tough early on. Very few hammers to work with, and then they just kind of started pouring in. But that's randomizer, I guess.
Yeah, it seemed to be a rather calm sea compared to some of the stuff that we have probably seen in this tournament so far. Yeah,
the first few stages weren't too bad. Like they were easily done without too many power-ups. Like I find that something that can like really throw off a rhythm is like a real tough first couple of stages. You start dying early on and kind of don't get that momentum, you know.
Yeah. So let me tell you this, man. As the tournament is kind of, we're starting to, we're getting single elimination mode here, and I'm noticing that we have a lot of players who seem to be advancing who are Mario 3 runners in this game. So how do you think that's going to fare when we start getting to the, our quarterfinals, semifinals? We have all these people who actually vanilla run Mario 3. How do you think it's going to fare, man?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, like moving into this, we're all like on a pretty level playing field. Like this randomizer does a pretty good job at just like punching down the skill cap and just really jazzing things up. So I'm expecting a real exciting series of matches to wrap this thing up.
Oh yeah, man, because by the way, we're gonna get our GGs out as well for Leslie Pro, who also finished up for a time of 54 minutes 26 seconds. So you all in chat, make sure you show Leslie some love as well. GG for him as well.
Yeah, GG.
Yep. But I tell you what, man, it's going to be interesting because as we get to round 3, in case those who in chat may not know, is that when we hit round 3, AK of the quarterfinals, we switched to a best out of 3 format. So if you kind of have a bad seed, things don't go your way, hey, maybe you want to, go for it in the next one. Maybe even be more aggressive and maybe take some unusual options. Just try to get an early lead. It's going to be fun. Are you eager for like the best out of 3? Can you handle like 2, maybe 3 hours of this?
Yeah, so that's 2 big points there. Yeah, I don't know if I can handle that. That's a lot. We'll see. I mean, at that point, it's going to be pretty heated, so maybe it'll be all right. I think with the 3 matches, you kind of raise a good point. Actually, like it really does invite a little bit more risky play, which you wouldn't see in like a single match, and especially since this randomizer, I mean, you can really make or break several minutes just by choosing the thing that has the hammer. I mean, we could see some risky plays that make some big changes and unexpected swings.
Yeah, I can't honestly wait for it, man. And Chris, for those who don't know, if you check out the schedule again, as Duckfist just won, of course he'll be working with scheduling his next match, which he'll be going against Fonzoid, man. What do you think about that one?
Who was that?
Fonzoid.
Sorry, I gotta check this out. Gotta know my enemy here. I'll be doing some research. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
no, I look forward. It'd be great.
Yeah. Fonzoid has a habit of usually, in fact, throughout the entire tournament, Fonzoid usually has jumped in on like just everybody's races just to play along for the practice. So someone that loves to race this game, I tell you that. So I'm not sure how much you race this game like outside the tournament, but
no, not a whole lot. So expect a classic sort of matchup against just like veteran vanilla runner. I haven't played a whole lot of randomizer outside of the and to stay fresh, but I'm really not grinding it out like some of these other guys are. I mean, there's been a lot of action on this game, so I'll definitely be fighting my way uphill, I think.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, Leslie Pro, what's going on?
Not a lot. GG Duckfist, well played. I thought I played.
Leslie.
Thanks. I thought I played this seed really well, and that was my best time of the tournament.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. PB is a PB. That's always good stuff. And it's a mess like this, man, where RNG can just throw you for a loop unexpectedly. But yeah, I told Duckfist, it was relatively calm. A little lack of hammers on the part of it, but then just dumped them. At the end, it seems like, but not too many mistakes. It seems from either player, really.
Yeah, I knew if I was going to keep it close, the only way that was going to happen is if I had to play really well. And outside of maybe a couple of relatively minor hiccups here or there, I feel as though I put on my best overall seed throughout the tournament. And I can hang my hat on that.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Again, as the thing is, there's a lot of good runs in this, and unfortunately, sometimes even in the good times, you just have someone that's a little bit better, maybe a better choice in the decision, and unfortunately, that's the way the randomizer goes, man. But I'm sure that you've had fun in this tournament. I'm sure you won't stop playing this, right?
Oh, gosh, no. In fact, I'm just getting started. I only started playing this to get ready for the tournament because Super Mario Bros. 3 was the first game I played since I was a kid, so lots of memories with it. So I decided, let's make more memories with it by entering this randomizer tournament, try something new, see what happens, and honestly, I wound up getting further than I thought I was going to get to.
Yeah, man, I tell you, you never know how these things. Again, there's some people who are like, "Oh my god, I made it into the finals." It's like, hey, you were in the top 2 in your group, and a lot of players, they won these tiebreakers. We had 3-way ties, and we had to break them some way, form, or fashion. So they've gotten themselves in there. So it's really good, man, just to even get this far. But I tell you what, I got a question: are you actually one of those people who's kind of addicted to the racing, like after hours, just late night stuff they're doing?
On nights when I actually work late shifts, then late night races sort of become my thing. But unfortunately, retail schedule, the regular hours, sometimes it has to be the early evening runs that has to happen because I work earlier in the morning. Like, I don't want to be like a zombie in the early morning part of my day because that's no good for nobody.
Yeah, I was mentioning that sometimes I'm kind of do works at night and stuff, trying to do some stuff and whatnot. And I kind of glance in the Discord. I'm like, these guys are still racing. It's like, what, 2 a.m.? I'm like, yo, let's join the new room here. I'm like, are you serious? And the addiction, the fun is real, man. People would love this stuff to death. And I mean, it's randomizers. Randomizers are obviously a big hype over the past like 12, 18 months. It seemed just across just the world of speed gaming. You know, just shuffling up, having a new experience every time you play is pretty. I know I love it. I'm playing games I never thought I'd be playing myself, honestly, with a randomizer setting. So I think I kind of understand it a little bit. So. But
agreed.
The
revitalizes the game and brings the community together. So keep it up.
Yes, so indeed, yo. But first of all, again, make sure you haven't already followed these two runners, and of course, don't forget to shout out our developer. I want to make sure y'all don't forget about our developer, because if Fred didn't develop this, we wouldn't be doing this right now. We'd be doing something else right now. So I've dropped a link to Fred's channel. He made this randomizer and the Zelda 1 randomizer, two big tournaments. In fact, one that literally cut our last race off because it had to start. His promotion of his work is good. And of course, just to promote more people, because I did it last time, if you ever want to play a Mega Man 2 randomizer, Duckfist made that as well.
Yo.
And
nice. I might have to try that at some point.
I'm just going to warn you in advance. Do not play that game on the hardest difficulty. Learn from me. You
might want to just play on normal, you know.
You can challenge yourself, but if you want to try difficult, more power to you. So
yeah, I gotta work on that, but thanks. Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. In fact, there's a lot of in fact, for those who may not know, there's actually a Mario 2 randomizer that Tetrally has been working on. In fact, there's actually a whole Discord set up for it. So who knows? And then we're talking about Mario 2 US here, Toad, Peach, Luigi, Mario. So who knows? We might see that tournament coming down the line or something. So anyways, with that being said, Duckfist will advance again. Duckfist will find out Fonzoid to be feature coming. And of course, unfortunately, we're gonna have to kick Leslie out of the tournament, but Leslie ain't going nowhere, because make sure you all follow him. Again, more randomizer. He's going to be playing it forever and ever. I'm going to be playing it. I'm sure Duckfist will be doing something as well between the randomizer. Who knows? Hey, guys, by the way, either you all submit anything for SGDQ?
And unfortunately, I don't think I would have gotten in. My runs aren't nearly as good as some folks here, but still, to those that are setting up submissions for SGDQ, go for it, because you never know. You just might get in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, go for it. I would also agree, and sadly, I did not register. I'll probably not be going, but I might. I will be going to Calithon, which is coming up in April, and sort of on a related note, I'll be playing Mario 3 there. It'll be a race between me, Supersonic, and Grand Pooh Bear, so that'll be pretty sick. All forts.
I was about to ask you what category. Is All Force the new hot category game? I remember like years ago, it's like, yeah, All Force. It kind of died off. Now all of a sudden it's making its return to the speedrunning scene here.
Yeah, All Forts, randos. I mean, it's the new wave of SMB3.
I'm still disappointed that I can't have Barnow categories like all white mud. All coin heavens. That's the good stuff right there.
Well, Mitch has a what is it, a bingo? There you go.
Yeah. Me and him did that. In fact, when he was first working on it, we did a bingo stream of it. It's pretty neatly designed, man. Having to, use whistles in such a unique way, so it's pretty neat. I would encourage you all to go check out Mitch too, man. He's again another really good Mario 3 player. He's been on that WR ground for Warpless too. So. But nevertheless, you all, I guess that'll do it for us. Any final words from either of you?
Only thing I'd like to say at this point is GG to Duckfist. Hats off to everyone involved running the tournament, and thank you, Big John, for setting it up. This has been a fantastic experience, and if there's another tournament for Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer down the road, I'll be looking to get involved with that one as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and thanks once again. GG to Leslie. Sorry to see you go, but some positive words. Hope you keep playing SMB3 one way or the other, randomizer or what have you. Join the next tournament.
Absolutely, I'm going to be keeping at it. That's for sure. Because the one thing with me gaming SMB3, it just all goes together. So I'm not stopping just yet.
That's right. It's just begun, y'all.
Yeah,
So,
and thanks to everybody else and the team for putting up with us and making these things happen.
oh yeah, shouts out to all the people speaking, man. I know you all hear this every time, but you know, I gotta show that things because obviously there's a lot of people besides just the people running it, the commentators, the re-streamers, the people doing tracking, not necessarily for this one, but you know, a lot of the tournaments. So shouts out to all those people. And of course, keep an eye on that schedule because there's more stuff tomorrow. As I mentioned, there are 8 races tomorrow, 2 quad races. So a lot more action happening tomorrow. So check out the schedule, bookmark. Do people still bookmark things on websites? I don't know. But make sure you follow the channels at least. It's like Control D, the little space key or something.
Chrome calls it bookmarks, so yes, bookmarks is legit.
Yeah, so make sure your bookmarks are up to date, that you're not going to the wrong URL. Speed Gaming 1, or should I say Speed Gaming OG 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Also, don't forget, sometimes because of the overflow in the channels, we may have some races over on Randomania. So don't forget to follow also Randomania 2, 3, and 4 as well. Again, check the schedule. You'll see the channel listed once you know where the race will be streamed at. All right. So with that being said, I've been your host, Big John, and of course, catch up all of the additional action tomorrow, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a race between Buzz Thunder and Jabum and a race between Radioactive Rat and Cartridge Blowers. All right. So until then, you all have a good night, a good Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day it is. Wednesday, at least here anyway. And we'll see you next time.
See you later.
All right, see you later.
Peace out, everybody.